1 in the chat. Just type 1 in the chat box. You can see me, you can hear me, and you're with me. Just type 1. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Kanayo. Thank you, Miba. Thank you, Jill. Right. We're all here. Amazing. All right. Welcome, everyone. And welcome to this session. So, like I said, my name is Oyindamola Olawe. I am one of the program coordinators here at 10Alytics. I'm a data associate for the data engineering program. And basically today I will be just helping some people answer some questions, right? They were 10Alytics participants and they got jobs, right? So we're not just telling fables here. We are actually telling the truth and their testimonials, really. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I have on the call with me Hamed and Kalu Daniel. Welcome. So just say hi if you're here. Ahmed and Kalu Daniel, just say hi. You can unmute yourself. You can turn on your camera. Just say hi, unmute, turn on your camera.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Kalu. Pleasure to have you here. Hi, Ahmed. I think I can see that you are on mute already. Pleasure to have you here. Good evening. All right, so I'm just going to be doing a couple of introductions before we dive into, well, the chit chat session, right? It's basically just a conversation. And we're just going to talk about your experience really and getting a job in tech, right? So like I said, my name is Indamola and let's just proceed. So what is 10Alytics? Who is 10Alytics? What do we do here? Right, so 10Alytics is one of the leading ed techs that we have in the world, right? And we specialize in providing specific tech skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. We have over 5 years now experience. It's our 5th year in the game, and well, we have experience, we have testimonials, and we have things to show for it, right? So welcome everyone's 10Alytics session. Like I said, my name is Indamola. So we've helped almost 3,000 people transition from zero tech skills to actually getting jobs in tech, right? And everybody knows tech is the new oil now, and across UK, US, Africa, Asia, and we specialize in skills like data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, and Scrum, cybersecurity, and very soon AI engineering. We have top instructors from places like Microsoft, consulting firms like Deloitte, McKinsey, and so many other places, and they bring a world of real life experiences, right? And you can contact us on any of these platforms, our Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and even our website at 10alytics.io. So my name is Indamola. Like I said, I'm a very multifaceted individual. I have experience mostly in data analytics, education, and marketing. And I have almost half a decade experience as a data analyst and a data analytics facilitator. And my skills are very specialized to analyzing data and very much teaching. So I actually love being a teacher. I introduce myself as a teacher. And currently I'm a program coordinator for the data engineering program at 10Alytics. And I help people transition basically from zero tech skills or no idea about tech into tech. And outside of 10Alytics, I have taught over 500 people. Within 10Alytics, about the same amount of people as well. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram. So we also have Priscilla, who is my colleague. Hi, Priscilla. Priscilla is going to be coming to speak at some point. Hi, Priscilla. Just say hi. Priscilla is also a passionate educator. She's a data expert and a career strategist. So basically what Priscilla does at 10Alytics is help people decide what paths they want to go, right? So she has worked as a data analyst, as a crypto educator, as a tech support personnel, as a career coach, and she has helped over 500 people as well. She also has almost half a decade experience in blockchain and data, right? She's a growth catalyst, and like I said, what she does is she helps you choose what you want to do in life, basically. Just anything you want to do in tech, Priscilla is the one you're going to speak to. You can connect with her on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or Instagram. So today, we're just basically going to be having a conversation, and we're going to share some free things. I know people like free things. So we have this very, very special discount for you at the end of the program, at the end of this session, and just going to help you decide what you want to do. So we're going to be going in now. So I'm going to be speaking with Hamed and with Kalu. Welcome, good evening. You can unmute yourselves now. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hi, Ahmed. You can unmute yourself now. All right. So
good evening, Wayne. Good evening, everyone. How are you?
All right. Okay, so hi, Kalu. Pleasure to have you here. So we have like some things just, that we've gathered from just talking about you, just like, oh, this person is a participant, just, information that we have. So we're just going to ask a couple of questions, and you're just going to answer them. Basically, what you're going to be doing is helping people to realize that it's possible. Basically, it's possible. However, hello everyone. Before we proceed, there is a form that is going on within the chat box. Please do well to fill the form to get access to recording of this session, as well as the materials that are going to be used in this session. So to access these slides, to access the recording of this session, please do well to fill the form. All right, so hi Kalu, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay,
just
thank
tell
you
us
very much.
a couple of things about you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Like you can see, my name is Carlo Daniel. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, it's very clear. Your voice is clear.
Okay. So my name is Carlo Daniel. Let me just give you a brief about myself. I migrated to the UK in the year 2023. And before then, I was in Nigeria. I was a project manager, but with construction firm. I have my own small construction firm I ran in Nigeria until I came to the UK. When I came to the UK, I could not get a job even in the construction firm. So I now decided, what am I going to do trying to apply for jobs? I thought, okay, maybe I should go into tech, project management in tech, because one of my friends told me that he's into project management in tech in the US, that you go and sit for Scrum Master and all that. I did all that. I had a certificate in Scrum Master, CSM. I had a certificate as a certified certified Scrum product owner. I did certification with AWS, just trying to do whatever I could do for me to land a job in the UK in tech as a agile project manager. But I did all that. I couldn't started applying. I couldn't even land one interview, talk more of getting a job. So I was thinking, someone that told me you need to have a UK-based experience for you to be able to land a job in the UK. I started looking at what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? I started consulting, different firms, different people. I couldn't get anyone. Instead, they were all telling me, come and sit for this certification, sit for SAFE. I said, I've got already. Until one day I stumbled into a Facebook advert talking about 10Alytics, giving, what do you call it? That was in January of this year, advertising their program that they have Scrum Master and other things, and they will give you internship and all that. And I said, okay, let me give it a try. I attended one of the mentorship sections, and I found out that they have what I'm looking for, that internship, that training, that scaling. And I asked Adeze a question. He was the one that handled it, Adeze. And I asked him, what? Sorry. And I asked him a question. What about if I want to fast track my own studies, because I've got all this certification already. I just need to do the internship. He said there's provision for that, is that. But let me tell you the fact, when I got into the program, I started in March cohort, and I found out that I don't have the skill. I need to upskill here. They taught me about the various tools, the case studies, everything. And these various case studies, I had to learn how to own it, how to use the tools, how to arrange for everything as a Scrum Master. They brought it live. The facilitator we had, she will always use something very, very common to explain agile, methodologies for you. I will tell you, I'll give her kudos anytime. I can mention her name here, Josephine Bosa. She was always coming from the grassroots to explain the use of these software tools and everything. I was only using Excel for my project management back home. In project management, we use just Excel to run the program and all that. But they taught me how to use Confluence, how to use Trello, how to use Jira, how to use, and all these are basic knowledge that you need. Then come to the applications. They started giving us application, how to write application, how to build our CV, our LinkedIn profile, even our portfolio, creating portfolios. All these are all packaged together, what I was taught within that 6 months. And I'm telling you the fact that I started landing interviews. It was just like as if it is easy because I've known the technique of applying for a job. And I have trained my, my ChatGPT, loaded it with all these case studies we did that has given me the experience base. And I was able to use it to be applying for jobs. So once I tell ChatGPT, use this project as one of the study for experience, ChatGPT will use it, I'll apply, I'll get a reply that you've been invited for an interview, this, that. It's not easy until I landed the job which I'm doing now. I've not got there. I'm still doing the IT. I'm still doing the internship. They are still grooming me for the bigger picture. But what I've landed, I'm happy already because I am in the tech space. I am, a project case worker, compliance case worker, project compliance case worker. And that in the civil service here in UK. And that is a stepping stone into great things to come. I am still doing the internship. I still have 2 months to go with the internship. I know by the time I finish that internship, it's going to be a go-go. So I did not waste my time, my energy, or my fund doing this program. I will tell you the fact.
All right. Amazing, amazing, amazing to hear that experience, Kalu. We're so happy that like this working in the civil service in a place where you are not from, even in Nigeria, to get work in the civil service in a state you're not from is a lot of work. And you're doing that in a whole new country. That's amazing. A country you spent less than 5 years in, nonetheless. That's amazing. All right. Hi, Ahmed. You want to tell us about yourself and just how you got into 10Alytics and all of that?
Hi, Owen. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm glad to be with you, and finally, I got what I was seeking for with 10Alytics. To be honest, for me, it was kind of a miracle to land a job because if you ask me from a year about you're going to be professional data engineer at a professional top-notch company. I will tell you, you're kidding me. 10Alytics was a top-notch, uprising rocket for me. Before anything, I want to introduce myself. My name is Ahmed Raki. I'm from Egypt. I've started out my professional career as a data analytics engineer at a construction company. Actually, I have earned my bachelor's degree in civil engineering informatics from Fayoum University in Egypt. During my university, I was working as a data collector, and that was my first step into the tech. For me, technology, or why do you think people want to get into tech? Tech is one of the fast growing industries in the world, and it offers endless opportunities to solve the problems, real world problems, improving the quality of people's lives. It's not just about coding, it's about building solutions that impact people's lives. So that was my first intention to upskill and upgrade my career. I was working as a data collector. We were collecting data. I was working in a football company. We were collecting the statistics of data. We were pushing data in Google Sheets or Excel sheets and working on it, passing it to the data teams. So I was thinking about what is next, okay, or what is the next step to upgrade yourself. Because from 5 years, if you asked anyone about data engineering, it was not a well-known career. It's not a well-known field. Maybe data science was a brand or a trend in 2016 and so far. But data engineering, no, it was just like a baby crawling. Nobody was aware of the importance of data engineering or what is data engineering. So it was a good opportunity for me to be one of the first people to put their legs in the field in a country like Egypt, have a primitive infrastructure. So for me, it was a good choice. After I have graduated from the university, I decided not to work in the classic job profile of a civil engineer. I decided to migrate my skills in data to the field of civil engineering, how to serve the construction operation and data in civil engineering using data. And data engineering is a very important step in preparing data, because if you have no data, you have no oil that can operate your machine. So data engineering was important, and it was a good top choice for a civil engineer understands what is data, what is talking about, because you have so many types of data that is many people are not aware of. You must understand the business case. What is this data talking about before you choose what are you going to be, if a data analyst, a data engineer, an AI engineer, and so on. So like if you have a data about marketing and you're not specialized in marketing, you will not understand it. If you are having a data about medicine and you are not a doctor, you will not have it. So business case is very important in the field of data, generally in all job profiles of data. So I started my work in 2019 as a junior data analytics engineer. I worked with a company. I worked in the field of construction and infrastructure mega projects. My mission as a data engineer there was to design the data warehouse for the company. And it was a challenge for me because I was a junior and there are no sources to learn from. And there is a lack of mentors, a serious lackness of mentors that can guide you and help you in your journey of learning. So it was something tough and crucial to understand it. especially when you work with a new cloud technology like Snowflake. It was my first cloud technology I've worked on, and it is my current technology as a data integration engineer for Snowflake at IBM. Um, so the strategy that I advise people just to get into tech and put it in place to smoothen the way to land a job is to first focus on building strong fundamentals. And that is what I was really insistent on before uh, burst into the field of data engineering. And whichever path you choose, software, data, cloud, anything, you have to make sure that you are working on real projects that can help you and showcase your portfolio that can attract recruiters. I worked with Wally for about 3 years. I was focusing on analytics more than the normal or classic rule of data engineering, because also, as I said, data engineering was not mature enough for the companies to understand what is it. The revolution in the data engineering happened in the last 3 years, since 2022. Uh, when Databricks started to launch its AI services, data engineering started to accelerate, and suddenly we found out several tools and everything for batch processing, for real-time processing, uh, many theories about the designing of ERP, Ralph Gimple, Bill Inman, uh, many theories, many fundamentals, many practical approaches for data pipelines. So having a strong fundamentals before you get into the tech at any field, not only data engineering, is very important. Um, to be honest, I struggled at the beginning because, as I told you guys, there was no enough sources to learn from. It was only about if you are mastering Python and SQL, you are hired. And today, no, Python and SQL should be learned in the university before you even graduate, because the for data engineering, it is accelerating every day. And you have to learn not only one cloud technology, you have to learn at least three cloud technologies, and not the big three ones, Google and AWS and Azure Databricks. No, you have to learn Microsoft Fabric, you have to learn Databricks, you have to learn T Rhino, the Iceberg. So there are many tools in data engineering now became very important and very common among many organizations and companies. One of them is IBM. IBM is very classic organization in the field of technology. If you ask anyone about who established the algorithms of Windows or Mac OS, it would be IBM. So for me, it was a very top-notch step in my career to join IBM, because if you look at me from 5 years, I would have never uh, thought about I can be a guy who is hired at a company which is one of the top four companies in the field of tech. Um, if you ask me about the motivation upon getting started and learning tech skills, so the motivation came from realizing how powerful data and technology are in shaping the future. I wanted to be part of that transformation, moving from just consuming technology and using it, a classic consumer, to casually building with it also. I wanted a career that offered growth, flexibility, and impact. And believe me, data engineering was a very successful choice. I came from a non-IT background, and if you ask me, how do you see yourself? I see myself proud of what I had achieved, because as I told you, I had no fundamentals. I was not I came from no voice. I had no awareness about tech. And now I want to talk about my experience with 10Alytics. 10Alytics, it's 10Alytics for data and strategy, a very attractive name. So I heard about 10Alytics from LinkedIn. When I talked to a friend during the African Cup of Nations, the last African Cup of Nations at Cote d'Ivoire. He was a friend of me. He was a software developer, and he made me know about 10Alytics. He asked me to try to connect to them, and you can try to contact them because they were one of the few organizations that is pursuing a career in data engineering, because data engineering has no upcoming sources like data analytics or data science. So I joined data engineering program with 10Alytics from 1 year exactly for September 2024. It was a very, very, very important experience. I recommend everyone who is lost, or he doesn't know what to do or where to go, because I understand that feeling. I know how it feels. So when I joined 10Alytics, their program was structured. It was helping you, considering you like a baby who has no voice, no nothing. So when we joined them, it was about 4 months. As I told you, focusing on fundamentals and theory before using or consume the technology. Because if you understood the concept of data warehouse, of ERP, of data modeling, of understanding the descriptive attributes, of understanding the fact tables, the metric values that is put in our hands on the reports and insights, you will understand how to establish your ERP and use any tool to make your data modeling. So I joined 10Alytics for about 4 months, and then we had an internship for about 1 month. It was very important for me because I worked as I worked my role with Flip Global before I joined 10Alytics was a remote job, but it was not that pure data engineer, because we were focusing only on scraping like a data collector with hands-on experience with Airflow, but we were not diving into the core concepts of data engineering. 10Alytics helped me to understand this. They help you to learn how to think, how to decide, to take a decision. Make a decision is very important in the field of data, because first, you have a huge responsibility, the sensitivity of data. Second, the data governance. Third, you as a data engineer, many people are depending on you. And the data team, data analysts are waiting for you. The AI, the data scientists are waiting for you. So you as a data engineer, if you made a mistake, the whole total project is failed. That what we learned at 10Alytics, how to make a decision and how to be a brave guy, how to deal with the failures of data pipelines. That is very important, and that is a soft skill. The most important soft skill I learned with 10Alytics.
Thank you so much for sharing, Hamid. All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Okay. So we're very, very pleased to hear about like your story. And you said it was been exactly a year since you joined 10Alytics. And personally, being your program coordinator, I know like you put in the work and all of that. Okay. So I just want to ask like a quick question. You work remotely, or like is the work going to be remote? Like is it remote, or you are going to be full-time, or is it hybrid?
Yes, I worked remotely with an Indian company called the Flip Robo before I joined 10Alytics. I worked with them for about 1 year.
No, okay, for your current job at IBM.
No, for my current job will be hybrid. I will work with IBM at Giza in Egypt. It will be hybrid. And I will be a data integration engineer with the Snowflake Cloud.
Oh, that's amazing. IBM is such a big deal. All right. Hi, Kalu. How is like working for you too? So is it remote or is hybrid or is full time? You have to go into the office every day?
Mine is hybrid. I do 60/40, and it depends on the condition or the requirement. Sometimes it might require that we work together on co-location with the team. Sometimes it require you could be at home and run your various projects given to you to see how they are going according to compliance requirements. Then also sometimes like it's good because of the job security. I will be going for the next 2 weeks to be working from home. So it's just because of that. So it's hybrid, kind of both flexi working style. You choose when you want to come into the office and you choose when you want to stay at home. You just make sure that it balances itself. So it's a hybrid kind of job.
All right, so this question is for both of you, right? It's going to be a quick question. So for when you finished learning, or like when you were learning, right? 10Alytics does not have the typical, you have classes every day or you just have videos for you to watch, right? We have a blended learning approach, right? So you have videos to watch, then you also come to class. How was that for you? And how was that instrumental in getting you jobs, right? How were you able, like, how was that learning process for you? So Kali, you can go first.
Okay, for me, that was what actually turned me on, because those videos, I will be frank with you, I know most of those things already, because like I said before, I've done some of those certifications. But the practical application was what I was lacking. And that is where that video was fine-tuned. Like for me, Scrum Master, what's her name? Nana, she did a good job explaining and applying it, and at the same time, bringing in case study. So that is just what I needed to see how to apply. Then when it comes to the classes we have online, oh, the first thing, did you watch the video? Yes, we watched the video. Okay, do you have any problem or any question from the video? Yes, if we have, we say it. And then she totally breaks it down, and she does that to the grassroots level. I would say that is what really helped me. That is what I found fascinating, because I had lots of questions. I've never been in tech world, and what I'm learning is what I'm applying today. I've never been in tech world. I've never known how to apply or how this thing is being done. And they want someone who has experience, like running the daily stand-ups, doing the sprint review, doing all those things, deployment and everything. I never knew before, but I have certification. But it was analytics that now helped me to understand this to the brim.
Amazing, amazing. How about you, Hamid? How did you see that learning approach, the blended learning approach?
Well, I prefer a self-paced learning approach, self-paced videos, recordings that can be a guidance for you, and reading documents. I learned from 10Alytics to read documents, because videos will not give you everything. Reading documents, especially for projects that people have been implemented, to know and understand how they are thinking and how they are motivating their steps in this project. So I learned to read documents within Analytics, and I made the reading as a habit for me. So I prefer, and I recommend everyone to read fast and increase the horizon of your knowledge, because videos will not give you everything. So I prefer for self-paced recorded videos and reading documents.
All right, amazing. Okay, so how would you say like analytics helped with the job getting process? So it's one thing to learn, it's also another thing to get a job, right? So how would you say analytics helped with like getting the job? So interview preps, mentorship sessions, and all of that. So how was that for you, Hamid?
Well, the challenge for me for within analytics, the journey was challenging but rewarding within analytics. The mentorship and drop-in sessions gave me a direct access to experts who guided me whenever I felt stuck. The interview preparation was a game changer. It helped me uh, to refine how I present my projects and boost my confidence when applying for roles. Without these, I wouldn't have been as prepared. Of course, in
All right.
analytics helped us in mock interviews, in resume views, and looking for their weekly
So
spreadsheet that was giving us many opportunities. I got my current job from one of them, and I
wow.
was really surprised because they listed a job in Egypt because I get used to look for jobs. All jobs were in UK or Canada or US. So when they landed a job in Egypt, without 1 second of thinking, I applied for it, and I walked through the process for about 1 month, and here we are. I'm currently a guy who is hired.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm so pleased to hear about that because we have this job board that we update every week and we just
Yes,
scrape jobs from different parts of the world and we put it on there. And it's just really great to hear that people use that because I'm one of those that work on that project. And sometimes I feel, oh, do people use this? And that's amazing.
it's
All
very
right.
important.
Okay. Hi,
It's
Kalu.
very
How was
important and
the job?
very helpful.
All right. How was the job getting process? So like from interviews, mentorship sessions, and all of that.
Yeah, it's just like saying I was totally disseminated and then reassembled. If I say I was totally disseminated in the form that what I thought I had, I did not have. So I was totally disseminated, then repackaged back. Starting from the LinkedIn upbuilding. Up to today, I got a message from one of the higher recruiters from LinkedIn if I'm interested in getting a job, but he was saying the job is not in the UK and is somewhere in one of these European countries and require me moving, all the stuff if I have. But why I'm mentioning that from the LinkedIn upbuilding down to the CV upgrading, that the CV upgrading my CV, updating it for it to look compliant, more that's UK standard, then to the dropping section, the interview section. I was taught about the seat method, the star method, the pitch. You have to have a good pitch for you to start. And then you have to be able to own the discussion. Take them to school. That's how my facilitator would tell me. Take them to school. Then let them know that you have the stuff in you. Your, what do you call it? Your dropping sections. Also, you have other 10 Analytic members coming to give experience. The mock interview, you see them presenting interview, you'll be sparked up. These are guys like me. These are people like me, even younger people than me. So from there, I started applying using the methods and the method we were taught to present our CV and everything. Before I know, I started landing interviews, going from interview, handling interview. Yes, I've not had the kind of job I have, but I am happy with the job I've got now. And I'm still undergoing refinement. Like I said, I'm still doing the internship. I have a project on hand given to me to present by next week. And it's working fine. So I know by the time I'm done with the internship, I'll be able to apply for more. For now, I've stopped applying for jobs because I think I need some more refinement. Let me focus on this, my new role, and then on the internship I'm doing. But I will tell you the fact, 10Alytics, I'll give them kudos for helping me get the role I'm having.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. So for you that both of you were not exactly tech people, right? You had no tech background, no computer science background, no coding background, right? How was it transitioning through that? Like, okay, you don't have any tech background. Now what's going on now? And when you got into your new role, what was the process like transitioning, that process of transitioning into tech? Because I know you will have learned some things in class, but when you get into a real company, it is really different. Like things are just like, oh, this is how you people do here, right? So Carl, do you want to share how that went, like transitioning into tech?
Yeah, the only background I had before with computer is writing email, and then I came from a construction background. I can do what do you call it? AutoCAD design from the computer. Aside that, I don't have any knowledge of anything. I was taught on how to use project management tools and other tools in other products or tools, or I was taught on being updated with these softwares and all those other tools like Microsoft 365 and everything. My facilitator will say, go in and spoil it. Spoil it, run it, just be trying anything you can put your hands on. If anything goes wrong, bring it, we'll solve it, we'll repair it. In your spare time, just run it. And in my new role, let me tell you one thing. I was told to present a project. I should come up with a project. They gave me 1 hour to come up with a project and present and let them see how my skill was. Do you know that within 30 minutes I was done?
Wow.
Within 30 minutes, with the skill I've learned from 10Alytics, within 30 minutes, I just know what to do. Before 30 minutes, I came up with a PowerPoint presentation. This is what we've been doing during the what do you call it? During the training, during the drop-in sections. We do presentation, we do simulated, what do you call it? We do simulated presentation, simulated project presentation, simulated sprints, simulated reviews, simulated all this we did, stakeholder presentation and all that. And within 30 minutes, I was okay. And while my other teammates were still struggling, I told my project lead, my team lead, that I want to present first. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. Everybody was just looking at me. I'm the only African in that group. The rest are not Africans. They are UK and other people. The only closest, they're all whites, only one Italian. So I told them I want to present first. They were surprised. And by the end of the day, they came to me and said, my presentation was so professional.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's
So
really amazing.
What I was taught by 10Alytics. We always make presentations, we always do our job. And then when you come to other tools like OneNote and all that, like today we started what do you call it? A Power App project. And so these are what we've been fine-tuned on from 10Alytics, on project management, on project handling, on project coordinating. All these are what
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So most of the things you're even doing in the internship, you already know them. You're just like fine-tuning everything. That's amazing.
Yes, the internship
All
is
right.
very important.
All right. Hi, Ahmed. How about you? So how was like transitioning from non-tech to non-tech? Because you were a data analytics engineer, right? So
Yes.
how did 10Alytics help upgrade that skill, and like from being a civil engineer and even now getting a job at one of the top countries in the world? IBM is not a little, like it's really not. Like when I heard IBM, I said yes. That was one of the best things I learned as a child. IBM, International Business Machine. Now I know someone that works there. That's so amazing. Okay, so how was that
Thanks,
transition
man.
for you?
Well, um, for me, the important thing is resilience and continuity. There is no difference between a guy with IT background and non-IT background. The only thing you have to is to code every day, is to learn every day. Proficiency is not to work when you have a good mood. Proficiency is to continue, even when you have a bad temper. So it's all about continuity, commitment, dedication. Absolutely, the facilitators with 10Alytics were approachable, knowledgeable, and patient. They helped me in the learning, combining theory and practical projects and real case studies was that helped me to build a portfolio that recruiters could actually relate to. That's why I told you internship was very important because it helped me to put my hands on experience with the real life case studies as a data engineer. That's very important because theory is not everything. You have to code by yourself, by your hands. I will think about it's an investment in your future, not just a cost. The tech industry rewards the skills and proof of ability to do the thing by your hands. They don't care. The employer don't care about your background. They didn't ask me about my bachelor's degree. They asked me about do you know Snowflake? Do you know SQL? They give me a joint task about SQL. They don't care about the employer doesn't care about your background. He cares about if you can do this thing by yourself. If you have the ability to think and give him a solution that can improve the quality of the output and the investments of the company. If you ask me how did you walk through the interview with IBM, I would tell you one thing, and that was a very important thing I learned with 10Alytics is communication skills. To be confident, to be relaxed. They will not take your life. Be relaxed. I know it's very, very hard. I know maybe you can find it a theory on this guy is parroting, but that is the reality. In my third interview was the project interview. The interviewer was talking about the projects and what we are going to do. He was asking me about my previous experience with the projects. I was not that one who is having that tough experience because as I told you, I worked as a data analytics engineer. My experience was in designing a data warehouse, implement a data warehouse was not that top notch, not a senior data engineer. I applied for a senior data engineer role. Now you can say I have literally no voice, or maybe 2 years of experience, but I moved forward to the interview in its three phases because of confidence and be relaxed. Communication skills are very important, and that is something 10Alytics helped you to acquire because they help you to introduce yourself and introduce and show your case, show the project you have worked on, try to facilitate its understanding for people. So that's a very important thing. So for me, if you want to invest in something, don't be me. Invest. The cost is not that an obstacle. You are investing in yourself, and I advise anyone who is looking for pursuing a career in data engineering and is lost like I was, 10Alytics will help you not only to understand what is data engineering, they will help you after that maybe to see projects on YouTube and understand what those guys are doing. They will help you to acquire the mentality of a data engineer. And I'm sure all other specializations like data analysis and data science and project management like Kaloon, 10Alytics is the best choice.
Thank you so much, Hamed, and thank you so much, Kalu, for honoring our invite and coming to speak about just your experience and getting the job. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people have seen that, okay, this is possible, right? These people don't have experience in tech prior, probably a whole of 2 years, like Hamed has said. Thank you so much for coming,
Yes,
and
I
such a
want to
pleasure having
see.
you here.
I want to say one last comment for all people who are hearing for us. Please please focus on the onboarding job spreadsheet, because uh, you will get a job from it. I got my job from it. Stay tuned for the updates on the jobs onboarding of 10Alytics. It's very important. They will help you to look for a job and land one.
All right. So if you are already in the program, and if you're not yet in the program, this is the time for you to join, right? The jobs are from paid platforms. So we literally go like pay for platforms, then get the jobs and move it into a sheet that has access to. So people in project management have theirs, people in data engineering, data analytics, and so on and so forth. So please do well to check the board if you're already in the program. And if you're not, you want to be on the side of the people that are getting jobs, right? Money has to be made at some point. All right. Thank you so much, Hamed, and thank you so much, Kalu. And I'm going
Thanks,
to
Lila.
hand the mic over to my colleague. Hi, Priscilla.
Yes, hi, Damola. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Hello, Ahmed. Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for taking our time to share your experience with people on the call. It's been a pleasure listening to you talk about everything you've been able to gain so far from 10Alytics. So at this juncture, I'm just going to pick it up from here, literally talk to people on the call about how they can get started in tech, the career path that would suit them and all of that. So you can feel free to stay back for the next 5 minutes. Just take a look at the chat box if there are questions that you can answer, or just feel free to drop off the session entirely. But I'm going to pick it up from here right now. And I really want to appreciate you for, sharing with us your experience. Okay. Thank you, Hamed. Thank you, Daniel. It was an absolute pleasure. All right. So we're just going to get to, the audience in the chat. So guys, if you've had a good time so far, please leave a yes in the chat. If you've had a good time listening to Hamed, if you've had a good time listening to Kalu, Daniel, please leave a yes in the chat. I've had a good time. I've been smiling literally. Okay, Joe says yes. Opemi says yes. Violet says yes. User, Michael, Kanayo, absolutely. I've had a good time so far. So we're just going to kick off, on the other part of the session where I get to talk to you about, the different career path that we have and all of that. And we're going to kick start with an icebreaker, right? So at this point, I want you to tell me, just give me a reason why you want to get into tech. Just one simple reason. Why tech for you? What is the point? What is the focus for you on getting into tech? So just leave that in the chat while I take a glance through. So very simple. Why tech? All right. So why tech? For you that is looking to transition into tech, I'm very sure you want to get a job, right? So why do you want to get into tech? Maybe in one word or a sentence, basically. Is it for the flexibility, for the remote opportunities, for the money and all of that? Just let me know in the comments. So LF says it's the new oil, to tap into. Absolutely. So to every other person, why are you thinking or looking to get into tech? So I'll be looking forward to your responses in the chat. TT says, change my career path and get a new job. Absolutely. Michael says all of the above. So by all of the above, I assume you mean the flexibility, the money it offers, and all of that. Absolutely. So let's just kick off, today's session. Now, my promise to you is by the end of today's session, you would fully understand, because to get a career or a job in tech, you have to start from somewhere. right? So where do you start from literally? It is literally by, deciding on the career path to go for. Tech is absolutely broad. There are too many career paths in tech. And how do we get started is first of all deciding, okay, which career path is the best for me, which one would suit me, right? So what I'm here to do today is by the end of this session, you will understand, how you can transition into tech using any of the career paths that are in demand, and how you can also get a high paying job. This is
All right. I'm not quite sure. I think Priscilla has an issue with her internet. All right. So a couple of people already dropped their responses in the chat box to why tech. Why do you want to do tech? Why do you want to get in there? Right. So a lot of people want to get new jobs. It's the new place, new where money is growing, new oil, where the future is heading. Wow, someone said no job in Canada except for tech. That's interesting. All right. So, and as Priscilla was saying, if you don't know where you're going, I mean, you at least have to start somewhere, right? You at least have to start somewhere to get your tech job, to get that dream job that you've been thinking of, that you've been like wondering how to get that. All right. So okay, so at the end of this session, I want to believe that everyone will understand how you can transition into tech, right? We've heard from these people, we've heard from Callum, we've heard from Hamed, how they were able to transition from like literally no tech skills to getting a high paying job, working in the civil service, working at a top company like IBM is through tech, right? And what Ahmed said, he said nobody had to ask him, what did you study, right? It's about getting the skills to get the job, right? So to get started, you need to be strategic. So basically, you can't do anyhow, right? Like the people will say, if you do anyhow, you see anyhow, literally. So if you are trying to get a job and you're just like being haphazard about it, like just applying, is not going to work, right? You have to be strategy. You have to be strategic about what you want to do, right? So for you to be strategic, we're here to help you with that, right? You have to learn in-demand skills, basically skills that are for you, like skills that are available for you to make that transition, right? So, hi Priscilla, are you back? Okay, so Priscilla is
yeah,
going to be back.
hi, can you hear
All right.
me?
Yes, I can.
All right, apologies. I didn't know I was thrown out. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up from, where I left off on the other session. Thank you for holding it down. So absolutely, I was saying that if you're looking to, transition into tech, you have to be absolutely strategic. Just to confirm, can you still hear me? Am I audible? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Hello, Indamola.
Yes, we
Could you
can.
confirm that you can still
Hear me?
hear
Yes, I can hear you and I can see your screen. Hi,
And you
Priscilla.
can hear me clearly,
Yes,
right?
I can. I'm not exactly clearly, but I can see your screen.
Hello.
Oh, it's not clear anymore. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take over again. So we're talking about gaining particular skills, having been strategic with gaining your skills and right. So being strategic, you can't literally just do things anyhow. So um and I said you have to learn the skills, right? You have to position yourself like what Kalu said. So he had all the certificates, he had everything, right? All the top certificates, Scrum Master, everything, but he needed to learn how to position himself. And he said the moment he was able to optimize his CV, optimize his LinkedIn, he had like people coming in with offers, and you also have to be able to apply. We have helped you to tailor your CV. We have given you applications that like jobs that you can apply to, and you have to be able to land that job easy peasy, right? So, like I said, you have to learn, be crystal clear on what you're looking for. What type of role am I looking for with my skills? What type of what am I looking for with my skills, right? You have to be able to learn in-demand skills. You're not just learning it um and not just learning it anyhow. You have to learn skills that are applicable to what is necessary. So how do I know whether to choose how do I know whether to choose cybersecurity? How do I know whether to choose data engineering? How do I know whether to choose uh data analytics or project management, right? We also have people that will help you do that. So before we go on, so to be able to choose all of that, we have to choose all of that, right? So I'm going to share a link, or a link is going to be shared in this group chat now, and you're going to take a quick quiz on just how do I know what to choose, right? So we're going to do that quiz, right? Well, Priscilla should come in anytime soon. We're going to do that quiz. A link to the quiz is going to be dropped by my colleagues in the chat box. So a link to the quiz to just help you decide what to choose. So I'm going to share the link to the quiz very soon. Okay, just give me 1 minute. So link to the quiz to help decide what do I want to do, right? If you're confused on what to do, how do I know if I'm supposed to be a cybersecurity professional? How do I know I'm supposed to be a um a data analyst? How do I know? Do I just choose whatever I want? Do I just whatever? How do I know basically? So I'm going to drop the link in the chat box now. And my colleagues, either me or my colleagues, going to drop the link in the chat box right about now to help you with deciding. So take the quiz. So once you take the quiz, just let me know in the chat box what did the quiz tell you. So we're going to wait 2 minutes, like 2 minutes. Everybody take the quiz right now and let's decide. All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Damola. Please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you and I can see your screen.
All right. Thank you. So while we're taking the quiz, it's important for us to understand necessary things that we need to do on that quiz platform. So it's simple. You're going to be having a place where you're needed to answer a couple of questions. So after answering that question, we are now going to know if you are suitable to go for data analytics or data science or data engineering, as the case may be. But the most important step that everyone needs to take is to first of all understand that they need to know the exact career path they need to move into. Because if you don't identify the career path that you can get into, then you're going to have a challenge. So I don't know how many of us have been able to take the quiz right now for us to be able to know the career path that is meant for us. So quickly, I'm going to click on it so that we all can also go through the same quiz link together, so that we can also understand what we need to do regarding being able to break into the tech industry. So once you click on the link, first thing that you're requested to do is simply fill in your details and be able to answer the question. So my slide should be coming up right now. The link should be coming up now. So once you get it, simply click on Get Started. And once you've done that, just click on Let's Go and then fill in your details. So my name is Chukwuemeka Iba, and I'm going to fill that in and be able to answer this. So quickly, once I've inputted my name, which is Chukwuemeka, and then my last name, which is Iba, let me use my number, this number here, and the email address, which is chukwuemeka@10alytics.io. So once you've done this, of course, you have to accept this exact checkbox here and then move on. So first thing you're going to be asked is, how do you feel in a group setting or team discussion? Remember what I said first is that the most important thing that you need to understand is the career path that I need to get into. Do I have transferable skills from where I am coming from? Because many of us struggle to land skills. Many of us struggle to land career paths in the tech sector because we are not actually going to the places that we have transferable skills from. So once you've been able to identify this, next thing that you can now do is to answer all these questions. So first is, how do you feel in this group setting? So how do you feel in a group setting? You have to now look at, okay, first one is I thrive, I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. And the next one is I'm selective, I like people, but I need balance. I prefer to work solo or behind the scene. So anyone that works for you, simply click on it. For me, I'm selective, I like people, but I need balance. So I'm going to click on it. And then the next question there is, what best describes your current or most recent job? Are you a caregiver or a nurse or in the health sector? Are you a customer service person, retail or admin? Or are you in finance or accounting? Anyone that suits your current job, simply select it. Remember, what we're trying to do is we are trying to find a career path that suits you, because this is the first thing that you need to identify before you can now be able to break into the tech sector. So for me, I'm going to select the teacher or educator. And once I've selected that, there's also going to be another question for me, which is, which of these sounds most like me? I like solving problems with people and organizing teams. I prefer working with data and finding patterns. I like creating processes or workflows. I also select the one that works for me. So for me, I prefer working with data and finding patterns. So once I've done that, there's also another question. How comfortable are you with tools? Okay, I can see that some people already have a response. Google mentioned cybersecurity, fantastic. How comfortable are you with tools like Excel, Google Sheet, or Numbers? For me, I'm very comfortable. I use formulas and pivots and of course charts. So I'll select that. And then what's your take on coding? Okay, for me, I'd rather manage teams, not code, or I'm curious but not sure if I'll enjoy it. So anyone that actually speaks to you, simply select that. Okay, so what kind of work environment do I prefer? Okay, I like strategy and decision-making roles, so I'm also going to click on it and then move right to the next one, which is what's most important to me right now. Job security, remote work flexibility. I want to lead teams and projects, and so on and so forth. So for me, I need to land a high-paying job ASAP. So I've selected that as well and then clicked on next. So after this, what kind of impact do you want to make? Okay, you also answer that question and move on. So even at the end, you're going to see which course sounds most appealing to me. So I don't even understand any of these courses yet. So I'm going to say so many options, I'm confused. And then simply tap here. Once you do that, you're going to see the exact career path that from my own transferable skill, this is the best place for me to be in. All right, so easily you can see that I need to be a data analyst because I have transferable skill getting into this exact sector. So when we mentioned that the easiest way to get into the tech space is by looking at the transferable skill that you have. This is actually what we mean. All right, this is what we mean by that, because you need to first of all identify what you have and then be able to now mention, okay, this is the skills that I have. For me to be able to get into this space, this tech sector, what and what do I need to do? and which one is going to be more aligned to those skills that I have. And from it, can easily see that it is the data analyst. I can see that a couple of people have dropped their own response. So if you've completed it by now, please feel free to drop what your own response is as well. I can see Google said that he got the guidance that cybersecurity. And for every other person, also feel free to drop in your own comments that you got. Or are we not, taking this quiz with me? You did not go through that quiz with me. Okay, I can't hear anybody. Please confirm that you can still hear me, Oindamola.
Yes, I can.
All right, fantastic. So while we are taking that quiz, because it's important, all right, like I mentioned earlier, it's the first step to you breaking into the tech space. Because when you identify where you need to be in, when you identify where you have those transferable skills, that is when you will easily know where you can be easy to transfer to. So let me give us a quick example. Let's say that this is Mr. A. So Mr. A used to be a teacher while he was in, let's say, Nigeria. Before he moved to Canada, he was a teacher. And while being a teacher, Mr. A have realized that he interacted with several people. For instance, he interacted with the students, he interacted with the teachers, and he also interacted with the management. Now, by virtue of performing all these activities, Mr. A have interacted with several stakeholders. Okay, so let's call this, he has interacted with several stakeholders. So, and when you look at it, what aspects of the tech industry do we have stakeholders embedded in it? We have what we call in the tech space, stakeholder analysis, okay? And which aspects of tech are people that understand stakeholder analysis can easily be able to transition into? That is business analysis. So by simply identifying his own initial things that he's done, Mr. A, who used to be a teacher back in Nigeria, but has moved to Canada, is now looking to transition to business analysis because that is where he has transferable skills into. So what he's expected to do at that very moment is to now learn. So I always mention to people that when we are looking to break into the tech space, there are two basic mistakes that we make. Some people transition from a place where they do not have transferable skills into, and then some do not actually learn. Right? So when you identify your skill, the place you have transferable skill, next thing you need to do is for you to learn those skills. Okay, for you to learn those skills. So it's not just about learning every skill. That exact career path that you want to get into, is it amongst the ones that are in demand out there? I was speaking in a session a couple of days ago, and I realized that there is a new skill that is also in demand, and that's called social influence. Okay, social influence is a skill. I think it's the third fastest growing skill as of today. So which means part of what people should be getting used to is how do I enact social influence in places that I exist. Okay, so when you've identified that skill, make sure that it is amongst the career paths that are also in demand. And once you've gotten that, next step is for you to also position yourself. Okay, how do you position yourself? It's about packaging. Okay, so learn position. How do you position? Packaging, CV optimization, LinkedIn optimization, mentorship sessions, getting job references. Oh, while I was consulting with 10Alytics, I worked on this project. And then, of course, finally, you are applying to jobs. So these are the different steps that Ahmed and Daniel were able to take. And right now, Ahmed is working with IBM also. So these are things that when you go through this route, you can now comfortably mention, oh, I have landed a job. Okay, as simple as that. I know it sounds simple. It's not actually that simple because learning takes you time, packaging yourself takes you effort, and also applying to that job will require, applying to jobs is also a job on its own. But once you're able to complete these three different steps, you are definitely going to apply, land a job. So how exactly are you going to be learning? How exactly are you going to be learning? So number one is you are going to be having what we call live interactive classes. Okay, so the classes are structured in a way that you have live classes and you also have watch me do it videos. So the same way I'm here conversing with you, that's how your facilitator will also be in the session, also teaching you what you need to know. And of course, there are also Watch Me Do It videos that you are expected to go through for you to have a full-rounded understanding of everything that you need to get into. Okay, but what we did before we identified courses that you need to learn is that we scraped different job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, and then analyze it through what we call the World Economic Forum reports. Okay, which is these jobs that were identified, are they going to be valid in years to come? 3, 4, 5 years to come? Are they still going to be amongst the jobs that AI are going to replace? So these are things that you have to also be very, very careful about. And then lastly, we have to now check it through regional analysis. In UK, for example, are they amongst the jobs that is going to give you eligible occupations visa? That's through the skilled worker visa. Then in US, for example, right now, the H-1B visa is already shaky because of what Trump said. Oh, if you want to get into this, the company has to pay $100,000 for you to actually get that visa. But there is also a new opening from that directive. It simply means that companies are now going to be looking to outsource this role. So are all those jobs amongst jobs that can also be outsourceable, which means you can comfortably live in Egypt, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Ghana, and work for companies that exist across the globe. Okay, and then also in Canada as well, these jobs, are they going to provide you with provincial nominee possibilities? So all these things are what we've looked at, and then we're able to come up with simply 8 career paths: business analysis, data analytics, data science, agile project management, data engineering, cybersecurity, HR analytics, and also financial analytics. All right, so these are the 8 courses that we were able to come up after all this analysis. But remember what I said, we had to walk it through the World Economic Forum report to identify whether these jobs are going to be valid in the next coming years. Okay, so according to World Economic Forum report, it said that in the next coming 5 years, by 2030, there are several jobs that are going to be created, around 70 million jobs to be precise. So what this simply means is that all these blocks that we can see in this green icon, they represent 1 million jobs. So each block represents 1 million jobs, and these are places where jobs are going to be created. While this one on the right-hand side represent jobs that are also going to decline. Okay, and according to World Economic Forum report, what we currently have right now is that 92 million jobs are going to disappear. Then all the ones on this blue side are definitely jobs that are just going to be stable. So what you want to do for yourself is to make sure that you're moving away from this red-hand side towards this green icon, right? To move away from the red-hand side towards the green side. Once you're able to do that, you've already shifted to the career path that are going to be viable in the next 5 years to come. And which career paths are there? So the World Economic Forum report also identified these jobs that are going to grow. If you can see my screen right now, everyone on this left-hand side are the ones that have been identified to grow, while the ones on this right-hand side are the ones that have also identified that will decline. Okay, so you can see that the fastest growing job as of today, they are the big data specialists. Okay, and when we talk about big data specialists, they're simply people that should be able to analyze, process, and also store data. So if anything you are doing tilts towards that, you are a big data specialist, and it's the fastest growing job as of today. So if you are looking at all those red boxes that we've identified, you can see the next one that we have here, which is data warehousing specialist, right? Data warehousing specialist. And then we also have data engineers. So this has validated that data engineering is a career path that is sustainable. The next 5 years to come, it is still going to be very much needed. So the next one for us to validate is data analytics and data science. So according to the World Economic Forum report as well, AI and machine learning is not new to anyone on this call. As of right now, I'm sure all of us have heard something, 1 or 2 conversations around AI, and it is the 3rd fastest growing career path as of today. Okay, and then we now have data analysts and as well scientists, which validates as well that data analysts and scientists are also going to be in demand in the next couple of years to come. Okay, so after that, next one is also around the blue boxes. So first one you can see there is information security analyst, Internet of Things, and also security management system specialist. So this is validating that cybersecurity is also amongst the fastest growing career paths as of today. Now, there are others that is also listed here, process automation specialist, which is around business analysis. So all these ones that are boxed here, does it mean that they are career paths that are not in demand? For instance, renewable energy is a career path that is fast growing. Robotics engineering is also fast growing. Blockchain developers are also fast growing. But why are we not offering it? So what we also did, okay, aside the ones that I've identified, is we analyzed them using 3 basic metrics, okay, which is which jobs met that ease of learning. So for you that is coming from a background that is not tech, is it going to offer you ease of learning? Okay, and then is it going to give you ease of transition, which means are there transferable skills from where you are coming from into this exact career path? Okay, and of course, high rewarding salaries. So all of them, they are going to give you high rewarding salaries. But the ease of learning is not what we can easily substantiate. For instance, let me ask everyone on this call, how many of us think that they can easily get into robotics engineering? All right. How many of us think that they can easily get into robotics engineering? I can't see any comments yet. Do we think we can easily get into robotics engineering? That's a question for everyone on the call. Nobody's saying anything. Oyindamola, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Let me confirm that my microphone is actually on.
Yes, I can, Chukwemeka. You have some text in the chat box.
All right, I'm definitely going to answer all the questions before we are done. Okay, please, is AI and machine learning a subspecialty career of data science? Fantastic question in Phoenix Font 8. To an extent, for you to get into AI and machine learning is a full aspect of data science, okay? And that's what also introduces you to artificial intelligence. So data science is like the big umbrella. Then inside it, there are different breakdown of several other career paths, like you can say machine learning. So machine learning is an aspect of data science. Okay, Titilayo said she doesn't think that she can easily get into robotics engineering. And that's simply the reason why we don't offer some of these courses. Because of that, they didn't meet the criteria of ease of learning and ease of transitioning. Are they all going to give you high rewarding salaries? Yes. But remember, when we're looking to transition, we're looking for something that we can actually be able to achieve within a space of 3 to 6 months. We should transition. But if you're looking to get into robotics engineering, you are going to at least nothing less than 18 months. So that's why we don't offer some of these career paths. So on the other page also, you're going to be seeing the other career paths that are also fast growing. So this is also to validate that data analysts, data engineers, agile product managers, business analysts, that they are also amongst the fastest growing career paths. Okay, I don't know what robotics engineering is all about. iPhone 14, fantastic. So robotics engineering is simply, you've seen robots. It's just development of robots to be able to replace human functions. That's simply robotics engineering. Okay. Now, if you look at this right-hand side, which represents career paths that are going to decline, what are we noticing here? Remember I said that we all need to move away from this career path and move to the ones that are growing. So clearly you can see that any job that is any job that can be handled by anyone is already being replaced by technology. You can see postal service clerks, bank tellers, data entry clerks, cashiers, and so on and so forth. They are already being replaced. Okay, so it simply means that anyone that still has this skill for all this career path that exists on this right-hand side, you need to upskill and get to the left-hand side. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everyone. And don't take our words for it. Don't take our words for it. So this is from the World Economic Forum report. So every year, world leaders, economic leaders, they all come together to discuss some certain topics. And amongst the things that they always talk about is also what we call the future of jobs. So you can see the link here, which we are going to send to everyone that fills the attendance form. Okay, so once you fill the attendance form, by the time we are done with this conversation, we are going to share the slide with you and also the recorded version of this conversation as well. Now, moving on, all these are also the tech skills that you need to learn. So this is the quiz which Oyindamola shared earlier that we all had to fill. And for people that have not filled it yet, it's also for us to identify that this is the first step for you. Okay, you have to take the quiz for you to be able to identify where do I have transferable skills. I used to be a teacher. I used to be a salesperson. I used to be an internal control officer. how do I tilt all these things towards the tech industry? Because once you're able to identify it, then it's now going to lead into the aspect of learning, then packaging, and of course, applying to the jobs. Like I said earlier, you are going to be learning using two basic models. One is self-paced and also live instructor-led classes. The one I'm speaking to you right now, if you have questions, you call me back and we are going to trash it. That is how someone will also be in the classroom walking you through all this. So when we talk about positioning, when we talk about packaging, it simply means how have you molded yourself to show the experience that you have. Remember that recruiters are looking out for two basic things, right? Recruiters want two things from you, and that is simply skill and experience. So once you've gotten the skill and you have that experience, how do you show that you have it? So let me quickly show the portfolio of one of our past students, because this is one of the things that I always mention to people, that for you to actually be able to excel, you need to be able to have a portfolio to show evidence of things that you have done in the past. So if you can see my screen, you see this portfolio of our past students, Victoria Uchemado. So Victoria passed through the data analytics program and can see that she worked on the Deep Care Hospital ER visit analysis. She worked on the Redox airline flight analysis. She worked on Express Tech food delivery. She worked on Nestle product analysis, and she also worked on Zenith Electronics. So these are 5 different sectors of the economy. Zenith Electronics is in the tech space. Nestle is in FMCG. Redox is in aviation. Express Tech is supply chain, while Deep Care Hospital is in health sector. And when you click on any of those projects, it's going to take you to the actual work that Victoria did. So what this simply means is that she can comfortably come out and say, oh, while I was consulting with 10Alytics, I worked on this project. I worked on the hospital ER visit analysis, and I realized that we had a total number of 9,216 people that visited the hospital. Okay, their average years was around 40 years, and the average waiting time was 35 minutes, 26 seconds. And my pain point was, how do I reduce the average waiting time to 30 minutes? Okay, I was able to do this. I was able to identify this. And by the end of the year, we reduced our average waiting time to 30 minutes. And this led to high turnover. And by high turnover, it simply means that we had high revenue. So when you answer questions like this, recruiters are going to know that, oh, this person actually understands what he or she is talking about. Okay, they are going to know that this person understands what he or she is talking about. So what I just explained now is what we call the STAR framework. Okay, when you're answering interview questions: situation, task, action, and result. So situation is, oh, while I was consulting with 10Alytics, I worked on this project. So the project is now the task. The action is now you explaining, oh, I had to use Power BI or Tableau to analyze this and that. And the result is, in the end, it optimized our revenue. So when you're able to speak like this comfortably, you've already validated 2 things that recruiters want from you. And that is simply skill and also experience. So aside the learning aspect, you are going to also get 2-month internship with Amdari, which means after working with us, you are now going to Amdari to intern for 2 months. And you have the unique opportunity to have 2 leading tech companies in your CV. You can have, oh, I consulted with 10Alytics, and of course, I interned with Amdari. So these are what recruiters are looking out for. And if we are active on Twitter, we're going to see what the richest, I think he's the second richest man right now. Someone overtook him a couple of weeks back. He said something that is very, very critical. And that is, if you're a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. So I'm going to emphasize on this second paragraph here, which is, we don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. All we care about is for you to just show us evidence of what you've done. Right? And what this simply means is that the era of certification is over. Nobody cares anymore. What recruiters are actually looking from you is show your skill and also show your experience. And the only way you can actually show that experience is by having valid portfolios to show all these things. Okay, so aside Ahmed and Daniel that spoke to us today, we have a lot of success stories of people that have been able to make this move also. Hope is a fully certified project manager. She has certification, but because she still lacks some technical aspects of project management, she came to us and we worked hard through it. She got a portfolio, and by the end of December 2024, Hope landed a job as a project analyst in Waterloo in Canada. So this is to show you that it's not just about a certification. It's not just about education. Theoretical understanding that you have is very, 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 very needful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and explain all these 8 career paths so that quickly we can easily be able to understand each of them and know the one that is speaking to us ideally. Okay, and the first amongst them is business analysis, right? When we talk about business analysis, who exactly is a business analyst, right? So these are simply people that come into the business to optimize the flows and make it better. So their responsibility is, oh, if I come into the organization and the processes that's level 1, I need to optimize in such a way that it gets up as 2013 or 2012. If you walk into a Nigerian bank, you're going to notice long queue, right? There's a long queue whenever you walk into a Nigerian bank. And that's because when you get in, you queue up, get to the teller point, and they're going to count your cash, and then you go back, fill a form, and so many things. But as time, as improvements were coming up, as business analysts were now reviewing the process on how do we make this better, there were now introduction of several things. Some of the banks, when you get there, are going to see a form shelf where you are expected to pick a form and then fill it before getting to the teller point. Okay, some of them introduce bulk rooms where if you come with larger money, you're going to instantly go to the bulk room. And then some introduced black card, and that was also the advent of mobile banking. Because simply the main question that business analysts in the bank were asking themselves is, how do we remove people from the banking hub and they are still going to perform transactions with us? The mobile app came up, internet banking came up, USSD came up, but it came from one singular thought. So that's how business analysts are also going to be thinking. How do I improve this process and make it better? Okay, so what you are going to be learning as a business analyst ranges from Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So what this means is that you are going to be starting up to understand data, right? You are going to start off to understand data. And after that, you now move to process mapping and then project initiation planning and agile and scrum for projects. So this also prepares you fully to understand the project that you are going to be optimizing. So I don't know if we are following. So you can see that a business analyst has had a touch point with data analytics, right? And because you are going to be optimizing processes, and these processes, for you to optimize them, you need to be treated as a project, which means you need to understand the aspect of project management, which is why you have that project embedded there. Then afterwards, you now move to the software development life cycle, requirements, fundamentals, elicitation methods. How do you get out information from several parties? So as a business analyst, you're going to be interacting with both the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. So this simply means that you are going to be speaking to people that understand the jargon that you're talking about and people that do not understand it. So you need to be able to elicit information from both parties and be able to pass it around. Okay, all these are the tools that you are going to be learning while in the classroom. Remember, it's a fully from basic to advanced level class. So even if you have zero experience, you're also going to be taught on all these things. The next one is agile project management. Now, who are these guys? So simply, I prefer to call agile guys as there's an aspect of tech that we call no code area. So this simply means that you are not writing any single line of code. Your responsibility is to coach people, to lead people, and to mentor them, making sure that they are all working using agile methods. Okay, that they are all working using agile methods. So your learning experience is also going to span from the introductory aspects down to understanding the fundamentals of agile project management. Okay, and then now move on to understanding Scrum and advanced Scrum practices. How do you carry out your daily stand-ups, or what we call daily Scrum? Okay, how do you perform all these tasks? And of course, you are going to be learning end-to-end use of how to utilize Jira and also Confluence. So as a project manager, your responsibility is to manage others. So if you are someone that you have leadership experience, if you're someone that you thrive when you are leading people, okay, and you don't want to get into anything technical, then you should be tilting towards agile project management. And everything that you are going to be learning in that course will prepare you for the PSM examination, which is simply the Professional Scrum Master examination. Okay, now we are on the data guys. So data engineers are like plumbers. You know, when you go to construction companies, you have plumbers that the responsibility is to build pipelines connecting the water source to the water outlets. Okay, someone who has built the pipeline from the overhead tank to the shower, and from the overhead tank to the tap and to the WC and several things. So the only thing that you need to do is turn on the tap and water is going to flow. That is how data engineers are responsible for building the architecture, the pipeline, to make data to flow within the ecosystem. All right, so they are heavy on coding. Data engineers are very heavy on coding. So if you are someone that you thrive in a coding environment, you want to be behind the scene and build the pipelines that is going to make things happen, then you should be looking towards data engineering. Okay, you are going to be starting off with the intro to data engineering, understanding the life cycle management of data, data architecture. Then you move on to SQL. Okay, then of course Python programming, and then Linux operating system. Okay, then very importantly, ETL pipeline. How do you extract? How do you transform? And then how do you load data? For instance, there is data that is scattered across Twitter, and you want to extract that information. How do you extract it from there? And then transform it in your IDE, that's your integrated development environment, and then load to a database. So all these things are what you are going to be taught in the classroom. Then Apache Spark and Apache Airflow, which is basically how do you automate these processes and make it simpler for yourself. All right, you are also going to be walk through cloud engineering, GCP, Azure, and of course AWS. Right, so all these are what you are going to be learning as a data engineer as well. Remember, they are all fully from the basic level up to the intermediate level, which means even if you have zero experience, you are going to be taught. But first thing I want everyone to be clear on is that if you are running from coding, please run from data engineering. I think that's the simplest way to put it. All right, if you are running from coding, please run from data engineering. Hi, Oyindamola, can you still hear me? All right. Please, are we still following me to this very moment? Are we all here?
Yes, Chukwuemeka, yes, we are here.
All right, thank you. Then we'll talk about data scientists. Data scientists are simply people that come into organizations to solve three basic problems. So when we talk about data, there are three elements of how we handle data. And one of them is what we call descriptive analytics, and then we'll have diagnostic, and then we'll have predictive. So descriptive tells you what happened. Okay, diagnostic tells you why did this happen, and then predictive is going to tell you the future of what is going to happen. Okay, so data scientists simply come into these businesses to answer these three basic questions of what happened and why did this happen, and of course, how do we build models that is going to tell us the future. Okay, so someone asked me earlier about AI and machine learning. This is where it is fully embedded in. So first thing you are going to be learning is statistics, okay, statistics, and then forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. Then move on to Tableau and SQL. So everything that you are going to be learning from number 1 to number 5 will also prepare you to also work as a data analyst. So what does this mean? It simply means that all data scientists can also work as data analysts. Right? All data scientists can work as a data analyst because you understand Excel, you understand Tableau, you understand SQL, and these are also data analytical tools. Then after that, you're now moving to Python programming, right? So you're going to also be exposed to coding opportunities. You're going to move into Python programming. How do you build predictive models that is now going to behave like humans and also tell you the future? Okay. I know some of us are going to have questions around, oh, why are we doing Python instead of R? So let me simply answer it right now. So R is basically great for statistical analysis, all right? But if you're looking to get into behavioral activities, then Python programming is the stepping foot for you. And also Python can as well as give you all those analyses that R will also do for you. So that's why we are learning Python here instead of all those other ones that you are thinking. So after Python, you're not going to also understand machine learning. Okay, how do you understand machines and also build models that is going to act like humans? Okay, so we'll talk about AI and machine learning. This is the place where it is fully embedded in. Then computer vision. How do you also build visions that is fully computerized? And then GitHub and also ChatGPT Copilots. Then data analysts. These are simply people that their responsibility is to answer just these two questions. What happened and why did it happen? So you can see that they are not getting to the last part of future telling, okay? Because their own aspect of understanding data is limited to just descriptive and diagnostic. Now, many people are always going to ask, oh, does it mean that data science is like the senior brother of data analyst? No. Data analytics is a career path on its own. Data science is a career path on its own as well. So you can fully function as a data analyst, but if you have the desire to know more and do more, you should get into data science. But if you are running from coding, but you want to belong to data, then you should clearly start your journey from data analytics. You are going to be understanding problem solving, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and then of course, how do you tell a story? So these are things that you are going to be clearly walked through. Then we'll talk about financial analysts and HR analysts. These are simply data analysts that specialize to a particular career path. Okay, so a data analyst that specializes to finance is a financial analyst. All right, a data analyst that specializes to HR is now a HR analyst, or what we call people analyst. So if you look at number 1 to 4, you are clearly going to understand that they are all learning the same thing that a data analyst will as well learn. Then from number 5, for a finance guy, you're now moving to your accounting fundamentals. Understand your three statement of financial model, your income statement, your balance sheet, and I'm forgetting the last one, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. Okay, so you understand all those accounting fundamentals, then you move on to how do you analyze the financials? And of course, how do you build a financial model? Okay, how do you analyze financials? How do you build a model itself to project what your company's financials is going to look like in a year to come? Then move on to valuation and sensitivity and scenario analysis. So all these are what now prepares you to answer a financial analyst. So this one is fully you working as a data analyst, and this one prepares you to function as a financial analyst. On the other side, you have the HR guys. So this first part also prepares you to work as a data analyst, while this part starting from HR analysis and performance evaluation, understanding HR metrics and life cycle, then moving on to collaboration and report automation, and of course, building your case and creating action. It also prepares you to function as a HR analyst. All right. So like I said earlier, these are simply data analysts that specialize in a particular aspect. So if you study economics, banking and finance, you've been working in any financial sector and you want to get into tech, financial analytics might be the easiest pathway for you. And if you've been in people understanding HR roles and you want to also get into tech, the HR analytics will also be the easiest pathway for you. Then cybersecurity. Okay, we'll talk about these guys. They are involved in everyone's business because no matter what you are doing in tech, protection is very, very valid. And these guys, their responsibility is to protect all the digital assets that organizations have. So the same way you've embedded you have facial recognition to open your phone and so on and so forth, that's how someone needs to also build the processes to make sure that there is no external influence on the data that the organization has. Okay, so you are going to be understanding general aspect of cybersecurity, and then you move on to information security principles. Okay, information security principles, which we call the CIA triad. That's the fundamental on which everything that you are going to be doing in cybersecurity is fully hinged on. The CIA triad. Then after it, you're not going to also be understanding the elements of risk management. Then you move on to network security and threat vulnerabilities. In this exact place, you're now learning how do you utilize Nmap to do your vulnerability assessment. Okay, how do you analyze threats using this exact tool. Then all these ones from number 4 to number as what we call the blue team aspect of cybersecurity. So under cybersecurity, we have 2 basic teams, red team and purple team. Red team is responsible for attack, while blue team is responsible for defense. So when we talk about log analysis and NTM, which is network traffic monitoring, we are fully functioning to protect the organization, which is the defense aspect. All right. Then you also understand your threat detection and response, and also incident response and threat intelligence lifecycle. So for this area, you're now learning how to utilize Splunk to fully function as a SOC analyst. So this place prepares you to also function as a SOC analyst. I hope everyone is understanding me. Then the other part from number 7 down to number 11 prepares you for the penetration aspect, the attacking aspect, the red team aspect. So when you hear that someone works as a pen tester, okay, they are also existing in the cybersecurity space, but they are fully the people that are attack minded. All right. We're also now going to now get to the last part of cybersecurity, which is GRC, understanding governance and compliance framework, your ISO 27001, which is the standard for information security, and then understanding compliance audits and policy, and also knowing how to also perform security awareness training. So if you are someone that you have a knack for protection, or you are a lawyer and you're looking to get into the tech sector, the GRC aspect is fully for you, okay? But then before you get here, you need to also understand this technical aspect. The reason is this: you can't really build controls around a system that you do not understand. So that is why first thing that you are going to be learning is to understand the technical aspects, and then lastly, you're now moving to GRC. So every courses that I've mentioned before now, they are all for 8 months. Every single one of them is just for 8 months. 6 months classroom learning, where you're going to be in the classroom with us, learning all these things. And then 2 months internship experience. Remember what I said, you have the unique opportunity to have these 2 leading tech companies in your CV, 10Alytics as well as Amdare, okay? And how are the classes structured? So on Saturdays alone, that is when we have classes, but we have it in 2 phases. We have the morning class and the evening class. So if you're in UK, if you're in Nigeria, if you're in any of the countries that are within GMT +1 or 0, then you should be tilting towards the morning class, okay? It is by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., right? Then the evening class is by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you're in Canada, if you are in US, if you are in Australia, any of those guys with, +7 or thereabouts, you should be tilting towards the evening class. Okay, so the reason for this is that it's also aligning towards your morning for you to be able to have classes. So the morning class is by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., while the evening class is by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can only be in one class. But even if you're in Canada and you want to be in the morning class, fantastic, you can as well as be in those classes. Remember, you're also going to have self-paced videos. Aside these live classes, there are some small snippets video that we expect you to watch, which also is going to introduce you to some elements of the courses that you are going to be having. Then during the weekdays, we'll have some mentorship sessions. That's where we'll now drive things like your CV reviews. Classes hold only on Saturdays. Yes, Infinite Hot 8, it is only on Saturdays that you have your classes. Then Thursdays, you have your mentorship sessions. It can be interview prep, it can be CV review, it can be LinkedIn optimization, just to mold you, package you, position you to be able to come out as a full-fledged person. Now, all these sessions are always recorded, okay? And the reason for this is simple. There are some times that you might miss a class. I mean, we are all adults, we have class, we have families, we have lives, we have jobs that we're also doing. So whenever you miss a class because of personal engagements, you can always go back and watch the recorded aspect of that video and then come back to your close WhatsApp community and ask your particular question. Oh, I was going through the recording and I had this challenge, and someone is going to be there to solve your problem. So when we also speak about positioning, it prepares you now for all these employability skills, starting with CV review sessions. So when you join, 2 months after you've joined, we are going to work on your CV. So we expect you to give us your CV 1 month after you've joined us. And then 2 months after, we're going to give it back to you where it worked. So the reason for this is because we have to give you a template that works, okay? We have to give you a template that works. And after that optimization, we're also going to teach you, if you are going for jobs, how do you now personalize and optimize your CV to suit that job that you are going for. It's very, very great, because one major mistake that we all make most time is we just do the easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. So easy apply is not going to solve your problem, all right? You need to sit down, relax, and then tailor your CV down to the job that you are going for. Okay, so after that, you now move on to LinkedIn optimization. How do you also build a persona? How do you build a profile that shows that you are employable? Okay, so I always tell people this. Sometime last year, we're looking to employ someone that is French-speaking data analyst. And what we simply did is we went to LinkedIn and we searched for data analysts in Ivory Coast. And then one profile popped up, and we simply headhunted, had conversation with a couple of people, and we hired without posting any job adverts out there. So LinkedIn still remains the easiest, the fastest, and the cheapest means of hiring, which means recruiters are always going to be tilting towards that action, towards that platform rather. And if you are not there, it means that you are also already losing. So we are going to teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn. And then how do you navigate the job market? Okay, how do you navigate the job market? For this, we bring in experts from different regions, right? People from US coming in, people from Canada coming in, sometimes UK, sometimes Africa, to walk us through how and where are the jobs? How do I actually approach them? Then interview preparatory sessions. You've landed a job invite. You can now book a personal interview prep with us. And we're going to look at that job description and prepare you accordingly to that interview that you are going for. So what I've come to realize is that this is one of the most important aspects of this offering, okay? Because from all testimonials that we've been getting, everyone always is talking about the interview prep. Okay, how do you use the STAR framework? How do you use the SIT approach to answer questions? Okay, all this prepares you for the job that you are going for. Then job reference letters. Remember what I said earlier. You are not coming to learn with us. You are coming to consult with us. So it simply means that you are working on actual real-life projects. And by the time that you are done, if recruiters need evidence to validate that you actually worked with us, we are also fully available to provide you with all those reference and recommendation letters. And if you land a job and you are still struggling, but also provide you with on-the-job support. Then weekly mentorship session is also available for you, where people are coming to share their own experiences with you to motivate you and walk you through how their own career journey was, so that you don't make that same mistake that they made. Then Upwork optimization is now where you learn, oh, how do I learn how to freelance? How do I learn how to utilize Upwork to make 50 CAD here, 50 USD here, 100 pounds here, and so on and so forth. So all these are part of the packages that you are going to be provided with. Remember the first thing that we talked about, which is learning the skill. The second thing is now packaging and positioning yourself, okay? And then third is now applying to the job. For someone like Ini Ababio, if you heard what Ini had to say, Ini went for a job for a managerial role, but he came out as the CEO of that company because of how he's been able to package himself and also optimize and show value. So all these things are possible, and we've had people that have been able to do it in the past. Then application is very, very crucial. Okay, I always mention to people that the fastest mistake that we make is, for instance, you are a data analyst and you're looking for a job. Then you're only searching for a job using data analyst as a job title. That means you are missing out on all these ones that exist here. So as a data analyst, remember, you can also work as a supply chain analyst, as a procurement analyst, as a logistic analyst, and so on and so forth. So all this is just like an umbrella name, okay? It is not limiting, okay? It's simply giving you direction of the places that you need to be looking for jobs to. For instance, you've gone for business analysis, but you are looking for a job. You can also look for jobs as a process analyst, okay? As a systems analyst, as a requirements analyst, as a business process improvement analyst, as a change manager. Okay, so all these are all elements of business analysis. So don't limit yourself to just the job title, because with the whole, there's a shift in global leadership. I mean, Gen Zs are now getting into leadership roles, okay? Millennials are also there. And some of these terminologies are now shifting. There is this role I saw and it's HR role. But what it was branded as is happiness officer. I was not asking myself, okay, which one is happiness officer again? I went through the job description and I found out that they are simply looking for a HR professional, but they've rebranded it to be a happiness officer. So most important thing that you need to understand is that when you're looking for a job, don't just look for a job with the job title that you have. There are several derivatives from that exact title that you are currently having. And what we also do from our side is, if you heard when Ahmed was speaking, we scrape jobs on daily, weekly basis and provide it to you. Okay, you are in data analytics, we are going to scrape jobs across the globe and provide it to you. Now, your responsibility is not simply to apply to those jobs. Okay, so remember person that I talked about, you are going to learn. We are going to teach you. We are going to package you and also position you. We're also going to scrape jobs and give you the links to apply to them. But the responsibility of applying to these jobs rests solely on you. The responsibility of applying to them rests solely on you. And once you're able to achieve that, you are simply going to be amongst the people that are going to say, oh, I got the job. Our success rate as of now is simply sitting at 91%, okay? Which means 91 people out of 100 that came to us moved into greater position. They landed jobs and moved on. Now, the 9% that is yet to actually move, what does it mean? Some of them fell out from the aspect of application. Remember, application is now you versus you. It is a numbers game, okay? We always advise for at least 10 jobs in a day. Once you're able to do that, take my word for it, you are going to be amongst these 91 people that are going to move from our classroom into landing amazing things. So all these things that we have on our slide right now, there are success stories of people that have been able to do this before you, right? We have someone like Ikmat. I love Ikmat's story so much. So Ikmat, when you hear her speak, she speaks on the concept of she's a stay-at-home mom, okay? And when she moved to UK, she was still doing her master's and she needed a job. She landed a job 1 month after joining, but then she was not able to take the courses. She was not able to take the job rather because of work time. But 2 months after she finished her job, her studies rather, she landed 2 different jobs that she now has to select the one that she wants to go for. So all these things are possible, but remember, first thing is you need to learn, and then you need to position yourself, and then, of course, apply to the job. I can see a couple of people say that they have questions. I'm going to take questions, okay? Just give me 5 minutes, and I'm also going to give you the option to unmute and speak to us directly. But you can drop it in the comment section, and I'm also going to pick it up from there. Someone like Judith also. Judith transitioned from being a HR in Nigeria to moving to UK to becoming a carer and then transitioning to business analysis. So every single one of these is possible. Now, this is the story I love so much because this guy is still in Nigeria, Christian, but he's 18 years. And when he finished his own program, his brother registered him after he finished his secondary education, registered him. And before you know it, Christian mastered the skill of data analytics and he landed a job as a data processor, okay? Fully remote role. And this is to show you that it is highly possible. If Christian that's simply 18 years without university education, without experience at all, can land a job after learning, positioning, and applying, then you that passed through more rigorous processes should also be able to do it as well. There are a lot of success stories there. So please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance form that my colleague, Lua is dropping in the comment section, so that by the time we are done with this session, we are going to share this slide with you and also the recorded version of this conversation. All these are success stories of people that have been able to make this move before you. So the most important question you have to ask now is, how can I start today? All right? How can I start today? So every month, we have new cohorts that join us. And the fantastic thing is that October 4th, we're taking in a new cohort, which is this Saturday. And what do you need to do? So the full price for the program is $1,000, but it's currently discounted to $750. And you can make your payments instrumentally, which means $150 every month. Okay, you can make your payments $150 every month. And once you've done that, you fully in the program already. So how exactly can you secure your spot? How exactly can you secure your spot? So all you have to do is simply click on the link that my colleagues are going to be dropping in the comment section there. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to this page where you are expected to choose the course that you want to go for. So for instance, let's say I want to go for data engineering. All I have to now do is simply click on buy now, right? Once I click on buy now, it's going to bring me here and I'll click on enroll now. Once you click on enroll, you're not going to be expected to put in your name. So my name is, let me quickly put it and walk us through how we can be able to secure our spot, Emmanuel. Okay, and then my email address is Chukwemeka, and then my phone number is this as well. All right, so once you've done that, you are expected to actually read the terms and conditions, and then simply check the box and click on create account. Right, once you've done that, it's going to quickly, let me not use this email address. Sorry, guys, let me not use this email address. All right, so let me quickly use this. All right, let me quickly use this email address I'm going to generate here and walk us through how we can actually be able to secure our spot. Remember, you have to click on that link. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to fill in your details, your full name, your email address, and then your phone number. So I've filled my phone number as well. And then I can now put my email address there also. So let me simply copy this, my email, and use it also. So this is the email I'm going to be using for this demonstration. Once I've clicked on it, simply put it here and click on create account. So once I do that, it's going to create my account successfully. So for you, once you also do that, it's going to create an account successfully and bring you to this exact page. So you can see that I went for data engineering. So at this point, what I'm expected to do now is to select when I want to start my program. You can decide to start in October, can decide to also start in November. Anyone that works for you, okay? But if you are looking to start in November, you can secure your spots now and defer to start in November. So you can see the pricing, you can pay in full amount, you can pay in 3 installments, you can pay in 2 installments, in 4 installments, in 5 installments, okay? So I'll simply go for the 5 installments. Once I click on it, I'm now going to click on apply discount. Remember, you are getting a 25% discount already, but that discount is not for everyone. It's just for the first 20 people to secure that opportunity. Once that 20 spots are filled, discount is entirely over. Okay, so once you've clicked on apply discount, you are now going to scroll down. All right, so quickly, let me scroll down and then see what it has brought out for me. Can easily see this is my name, my email address. I have to validate everything to be sure that that is what I actually want it to carry. And then you can now scroll down and also see this other aspect, 750. Remember, I selected to pay in 5 installments. So my first installment is due today. Second installment is due by October 30. Third installment is due November 30, then December 29, and then January 28. So you don't have to break the bank for you to learn a tech skill. All right, we've made it in such a way that you can instrumentally pay all these things. Okay, 1 30-day cycle, you pay 1 30-day cycle, you pay the other, and so on and so forth. So once you've validated all these things, all you have to now do is simply click on pay now. Once you click, okay, I have to confirm that my information is correct, right? I have to confirm. And then again, you are expected to read the terms and conditions. Then I simply click on pay now. Once you've done that, it's now going to bring you to where you can easily check out that payment that you are about to make. Okay, and right here, I'm going to scroll down and then put my payment details. Okay, I'm going to scroll down and put my payment details. So for me to make payments, let me also use this to make these payments so that I can easily be able to understand how it works. So simply, I hope we are all still following. And then more, all right. And then 1, 2, 3. All right, something is wrong. Okay, I think this is it. And then full card holder name. Remember, my name is Emmanuel. So once you've done that, I can now click for this if you want to, and then of course, simply click to pay. So once you've made that payment, it's going to also come here and show you whether it is successful or whether it is not successful. So my payment is still processing and it is fully, okay, it's still confirming my payments. And once all these things are done, you are now going to be redirected immediately to your dashboard. So you can see as simple as that, okay, as simple as that. Can we pay with Naira cards, Infinix? Of course, Infinix, you can pay, right? But the thing there is that it speaks your geolocation as at this moment. So if you are in Nigeria, you can make payments with it. But if you're in US, you're going to be seeing the pricing in USD. If you're in Canada, you're going to be seeing the pricing in CAD. If you are in UK, you're going to be seeing the pricing in pounds. So it's going to pick the location of where you are right now and give you the pricing in that local currency. Okay, but if you want someone to assist you with Naira payments, what I always advise you is maybe get someone that is fully in Nigeria, or you can use any process of VPN to now be able to utilize your card in that other country's local currency. I hope that answers your question, Infinix. I don't know your name, so I'm sorry that I'm calling you Infinix. So once your payment is confirmed, all you have to now do is simply click to go to your dashboard. So once you've clicked on that, it's going to bring you here. Now you need to still verify your email. So what you need to do at this point is simply go back to that your email address, your email inbox rather, and you are going to see your verification code. So for me to verify my email, let me get the code and verify, okay? So let me get the code as fast as possible, 719630. 719630. So right here, I'm going to put in the code, 719630. 719630. Sorry, my system is still scanning to be sure that it is a very good site for me to put my details through. All right, 719630. Okay, it is complete, so I have to put 719630. And once you've done that, all you have to now do is simply verify your email address. Once the verification is complete, you will be fully accepted into the LMS, and you can now start going through your welcome videos and understanding the platform and everything that you need to actually see. So you can see right now, this is my dashboard, and I can now constantly, immediately start learning and continue from there. I hope this demonstration is simple and straightforward for everyone. Hope it is simple and straightforward for everyone. Now, after you've done that, there's another expectation that we have from you. Remember, you've not selected whether you want to be in the morning class or in the evening class. So right here, we expect you to now give us a couple of your details, put your country of residence, your gender. Oh, I prefer not to say, that kind of person. And then please indicate your preferred time. Want to be in the evening session because I'm in US, so I'm going to, prefer to be in the evening session. Then how did you find out about 10Alytics? You can easily also choose the means through which you found out about us. It can be 10Alytics Instagram, as the case may be, and then update your email address, okay? If you've used a different email address to access our masterclass sessions and so on and so forth, you want an alternative one, can also put it here. And if you have someone that referred you, you can also put the referral code here as well. Then what made you register with 10Alytics? Maybe because, we are fantastic. We are that good. And then how much time can you commit weekly? Oh, I can actually do 1 to 3 hours per week and then complete the setup. This is as simple as it can be. You see, we're able to complete all these payments and even demo within 5-10 minutes. And if you are going to be doing it on your own, it's something that we can actually complete within a space of 1 minute. So it's as simple as this. I don't know if at this very moment we'll have any questions from anyone. So this is where you can now use the raise hand icon or drop the question in your comment section, and I'm going to immediately pick it up from there. Right? Do we have any question from anyone? Please feel free to use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak. I can see someone dropped a question earlier. Okay, yes, my question was answered. Thank you, Infinix. All right, thank you. Can we pay with Naira cards? Okay, that's the same question from Infinix that we've been able to also answer. Steltas Bloom, you said you have a question. Please feel free to drop it in the comment section or use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak. I don't know if anyone has a question. Yeah, Steltas Bloom. First, you have to help us to pronounce your name. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead. Yes, Telstar, are you there? I've asked you to unmute.
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, my name is Stella. I was at I how do I say this? Yeah, so I had this clarity call. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Yeah, so I had a clarity call with one of your colleagues, should be last 2 weeks. And yeah, we were like I would say 4 in this call. So we had to discuss the part that we were transitioning from, So we discussed, I and the person that was hosting the call that day, we had some talks about where I was transitioning from, and then I told him that I was transitioning from a part, not tech, but more or less like a research, because I did my master thesis in more statistical work, and I had to use R Studio for my analysis. So after we finished talking, he said, "Okay, I think you would do better in data science, But then in this call now, I took the quiz, and the quiz is saying data analytics, and I already made my payments. I'm just asking. I already made my payments, I think last week, so I really don't know.
All right, I understand. I understand how these things can happen. Okay, so maybe when you're taking the quiz, you were more conservative. Possibly,
Okay.
you mentioned that you are not willing to go towards the coding aspect. So that's why.
Yes, something. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Exactly. So if you are not tilting towards that coding aspect, then it's going to take you to data analysis. But if you have that open mind that you want to get to coding, it's going to
Yeah.
take you to data science. But if you ask me for my own professional advice, it will be this: if you've been exposed to R, you don't have to go to data analytics, because R also functions like Python to an extent. It's a programming language. Okay. And if you
Okay.
have
Okay.
if you
Okay.
have understanding of a programming language already, data
Yeah.
science will give you more. It will stretch you more, but it's going to give
Okay.
you more value. All right.
Okay.
So, as someone that experienced Python, it doesn't make sense you coming, to a place that you're not going to be involved in that again. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's assume, as of today, you can fly an aeroplane. All right. And then you want to learn something else, or you've learned to fly an aeroplane, and then now moving towards going to fly a helicopter. So it's not going to align. All right. So that exposure that you
understand now.
have, I think for you to maintain that value, you need to move towards data science, because as a data analyst, the programming language exposure doesn't exist there. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Stella.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Thank you very much. That's just why I just wanted to ask. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You.
Okay. Tiana is asking, what amount of storage is needed on your laptop, and is there any books that can be purchased for additional understanding? Fantastic question, Tiana. So what I always advise people is this. I know we all like aesthetics. We all like MacBook and so on and so forth. It's fantastic. And MacBook can also serve you for this learning purpose. But then it might lead you to making payments for some tools that are free for Windows users. For instance, you can't easily install Power BI on MacBook. You have to install it through a third-party app called Parallax. And after 2 weeks, you have to now make payment to Parallax. But if you're using a Windows laptop, it's entirely free. So my advice is this. Let's use Windows laptop. Anything from 4 gig RAM and above, and at least external memory of 256 should be able to serve you. So 4 gig RAM and above, and then 256 memory should be able to serve you to learn. Then we've gotten into the sector, and then, but if you have the bandwidth, if you are looking to buy a new laptop, please buy 8 gig RAM and above, and at least 500 external memory. That would be the perfect. Okay, but if you have a 4 gig RAM, 256 external memory, it will be okay for you to learn. But as you functioning in this tech space, there will be need for you to update because your system may start lagging at that point. I hope that answers your question, Tiana. Preferably Windows 4 gig RAM, 256 and above. That fully should be able to serve you. All right, Taiwo is asking, what is the potential of emerging data agents or multi-agents and AI automations replacing these data analytics, data or science-related skill in the near future? Fantastic question, Taiwo. Now, there is this concept of AI is here to replace us. But let's look at it from this concept as well, Taiwo. AI is here to help you to be faster. So I had a session on AI automation last week for a different class. And what happened is we gave all this Gen AI to someone. Oh, use this Gen AI to analyze this data. And then myself that also have data understanding, let me use this Gen AI to analyze the data. The difference is key. Okay. For instance, the other person didn't even understand what we call scaling. That person didn't even understand what we call, okay, I need 8 or 7 visuals from this analytics. So there are key things that even though you are using Gen AI, if you don't have that generic understanding of what exists in that sector, you will not even be able to prompt the AI accordingly to give you what you are looking for. Okay, so I always advise people, the best thing to do is learn the skill and then also learn AI to make your job faster. If someone is using AI and the person didn't get the skill, the person is not going to be faster. I don't know if you've ever prompted ChatGPT and you're asking it for this and it's telling you something else. You are there fighting with it. Oh, this is what I'm asking you. But it's giving you a different output. That's because the prompt understanding is not yet existing. So first thing is the skill has to exist, and then the AI is there to optimize you. All right, the AI is simply there to optimize what you already understand. So you can easily use AI to say, oh, analyze this data, give me 7 visuals from this, make sure you scale it to 1:2, and then use 16:9, image size and so on and so forth, because you have that understanding. But someone that don't have the understanding will simply say, oh, analyze this data and give me results. The result is going to give you, you are going to run away from it entirely. Okay, so Taiwo, as of now, AI is not here to replace any of these career paths that we mentioned. If you joined earlier, we looked at the job potency. In the next 5 years, are they still going to be viable? And we saw that they are all going to be viable according to the World Economic Forum report. I hope that answers your question, Taiwo. Okay, hi, how do we install all the applications that will be used for the program? Secondly, how do we get to the dashboard? All right, Frank, the general. So for you to get to the dashboard, that means you must have made payments first. So once you make payments and continuously complete it to the ladder, you are going to be, successfully on that dashboard immediately. So without making payments, you will not be able to access the dashboard. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So the other one, how do we install all the applications? So that is part of what we are also going to teach you. So first thing is, once anyone joins any of the courses, we're also going to provide you a welcome kit. How do you download this? How do you download that? And all these are going to be provided to you. But remember, it is after you've joined the program. I hope that makes sense to you, Frank, the general. Let me see if someone's hand is raised so that I can be able to take the question as well. Okay, there's no raised hand. All right. I believe I've been able to answer everyone's question. Okay, so like I said earlier, the 25% discount is simply for the first 20 people to register. All right, and once that 20 people, once the spots are fully taken, the course goes back to the full amount. We're not going to ask you not to register, but if you go to the site, you're not going to be seeing that discounted option existing anymore. And on our own side, constantly, we're also looking for ways to improve ourselves. Last year, we got into our Beta Capitalizer program with one aim. How do we help more people to break into the tech industry? This year, we got into Dohe Accelerator program, which is also how do we manage these more people that have got into our program. So constantly as a business, we're also looking at ways to constantly optimize ourselves. And when you are done, we're also going to provide you with a certificate from the American Council of Training and Development, from ACTD, fully showing that, oh, Chukwemeka has been certified as a data scientist and so on and so forth. And these are also viable out there. Okay, so everything I have on my slide now, they are all success stories of people that have been able to go through this journey before you. So remember, make sure you fill the attendance form. so that you can be able to get all the slides and also the recorded version of this conversation. Elsa is asking, I have a similar question. I'm registered in business analysis, but when I take the quiz, he said I should take the data analysis route. Could you please advise Elsa? Okay, quickly, Elsa. There are some certain reasons for this, okay? And when you registered, have you had a conversation with someone before your registration? Okay, because for the quiz, exactly? For the quiz, most time people are very, very conservative. So there's possibility that you mentioned that you like data, okay? There's possibility of you mentioned that you like data and you are not willing to get into coding and you're not the kind of person that you want to interact with people a lot. Because as a business analyst, you're going to be in everyone's business. Remember, you are there to improve all the processes. And for you to improve all the processes, you need to constantly be speaking to people. So maybe when you're taking the quiz, you've selected something that dissociated you from associating with people or constantly speaking to people. So because of that, it's now directing you to data analytics, right? But let's have this conversation, okay? The conversation is this. Are you the kind of person that you love interacting with people, Elsa? Do you like interacting with people or are you running from conversing with people? And also, what is your background right now? So for me to advise, you may want to use the raise hand icon so that I will ask you to unmute Elsa so that you can also speak to me. Elsa, I've asked you to unmute so you can speak to me directly so that I can hear directly from you.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, so I have a nursing background and with public health specialty, and obviously I have been working in the health sector like for many years. Of course, I consider myself I'm now more extroverted than I was before, so probably that's the reason why when I spoke to one of your staff members, I have been advised that it will be nice if I take the business analyst route or agile management. So
Right. Did you
that's the
mention that you're not looking for anything technical?
sorry.
Did you say to them that you are not looking to get into anything that is technical or that has elements of calculation embedded?
Not quite, but I have obviously mentioned that I have been working in the healthcare sector like for so many years. So basically, so I'm okay with obviously dealing with people and stuff. And then so when I mentioned that, and then I was being informed, yeah, obviously it's okay to take the business analyst route.
All right, and that is not a bad one. Okay, so you know when I was speaking about business analysis, I mentioned that first thing that you're going to be understanding is having a data understanding here. So business analysis also exposes you to data analytics, all right? And then it's now exposes you to project management. And then lastly, it's now exposing you to the proper BA, all right? So once you finish it, you can actually also work as a data analyst, as a project manager, as well as a business analyst. So it's also from the holistic conversation that I've had with that person that made them, directing towards business analysis. But from our conversation right now, if you are not running away from conversing with people, if you're also looking for a place where you can improve processes, then business analysis will be the perfect place for you, right? So what happens with the quiz most times that when we're taking it, sometimes we are very, very conservative. Oh, I don't want this, I don't want that. And then it's going to give you verbatim, depending on the choices that you made. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Elsa.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for clarification. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome, Elsa. I think there's also another question here. Sorry, Elsa, are you still speaking? Okay. Someone else is registered for cybersecurity. Let me take a walk of it. Fantastic, Ola. I'm sure I'm going to see you in the classes, definitely. Okay. Stella is also asking, hi, how do we install? Okay, I think I've answered that. How can I get to speak with someone before I register? Fantastic home PC. All right, so from all the communities that you came through, we're going to share a link for you to book a one-on-one conversation, okay? It's entirely free, one-on-one conversation. So you can book that clarity call to speak to someone personally, and the person is going to look at your background and then advise you accordingly. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Home PC. And also Home PC, on the link that we shared for the quiz, at the end of it, you're going to see, oh, you're not comfortable with your response, you can also book for a one-on-one clarity with that person. Okay, with the course Prepare One for CBAP 4. Okay, fantastic question, Jacob. So we are fully focused on practical learning. All right, we are fully focused on practical learning. If you are looking for certifications, there are different modules. Certifications have some reading areas that you need to be getting accustomed to. But what we are fully based on the skill and the experience. That is what we are fully on. Are the things you're going to learn from the business analysis also prepare you for CBAP? 100%. But will it be sufficient? You may have to look at the CBAP curriculum and then understand the basic things that they also want. So our own focus is fully from a practical point of skill and experience, and not just to go and write an exam and pass. So you are coming in every single class you have, you are working on real life projects. So you're not coming to be learning theoretically, no. So you're coming to work on a real life project, and these are things that recruiters are always looking out for. Okay, I think I've answered everyone's question. So thank you all so much. Like I always mention on all my sessions, the best time to break into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. Some of us that got into this tech place is we've been able to get to this point because we got in earlier. Okay, and the faster you also make that decision, the better for you. And if you are looking to say, okay, 2026, I want to be a tech bro, I want to be a tech sis, I want to be a tech dad, now is the time for you to prepare. Because if you wait till 2026, people that started right now, by January, they already have substantial skill to start applying to jobs, which means now is the best time for you to take your own journey. So thank you so much to everyone for listening to us for the last 2 hours, 30 minutes on behalf of our founder, Adeza Suleiman, and our co-founder, Ifmana Ikwe, and of course, Oyinda Mola and Priscilla that started the session. I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you all come October 4th in any of our program. Cheers, everyone, and let's have a wonderful day, a wonderful night's rest, or a wonderful afternoon, depending on where we are joining from. Bye, everyone. I remain your guy, Chukwuemeka Eba. Cheers, everyone.